Atheist Nomads, episode 288, Orthodoxy over Historical Records.
Hi, my name is Lois, and this is Atheist Nomads. Someone's maybe inappropriate.
Welcome to the episode of Atheist Nomads. I am Dustin. Joining me is Lauren.
Hello.
And Aaron.
Hello.
Rocco is having a little time out, and Kylie is recovering from some illness, so we will see how she's doing.
Threw up for a day straight.
Oh, gosh.
Every hour.
We were at the peds clinic while they were in the middle of a staff meeting because Lauren didn't want to wait long enough to actually call in.
Right.
So we were there at the time they were supposed to open, and they were in the middle of a staff meeting. So we just waited until they opened, and fortunately her doctor had already arrived, didn't have any appointments yet, and was able to see her. And we sat there and looked at them through the window and made them feel guilty about having fun at their freaking meeting while Kylie is like trying not to throw up bile everywhere. Yeah.
No, it wasn't that bad, actually. They were very nice.
I'm sure they were.
They came out and let us know what was going on.
Yeah, definitely. They're like, you can keep staring at us. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked from home Thursday and then took Friday off and rehydrated Kylie. Like I talked to the nurse and got the exact how to do that right.
Versus my bumbling the day before where I was like, let's feed her. Oh, she threw up. It was, okay, well, let's try and feed her again.
Right.
Oh, she threw up. He actually called the nurse's line and got the instructions on how to do that.
Which was
an excellent daddy nurse.
1 to 2 teaspoons of Pedialyte every 5 minutes for 8 hours.
Gosh.
So, he has experience in raising kittens now.
Yeah.
When I told my parents about that, my dad's response was, that's intensive care.
Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
That is, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Kept us out of the ER, though, so that's good.
That's good.
Yeah, we were literally if she hadn't had a wet diaper like exactly when she did, we were doing our final check before taking her to the ER.
Right. Because
that was one of the reasons why I called the nurse was at what point do we need to actually take her in? And so the nurse and I agreed, if she hasn't had a wet diaper by noon, then it's time. 11:30 we checked and it was a wet diaper.
There it was.
Yep.
Saving on the money.
And then, tears were the next one.
Yeah?
Yeah, when she cries and there's no tears, that's kind of weird.
Oh, that is weird.
So she finally started tearing up.
That was a fun game.
Well. Yes. So she's almost 14 months old, and this is her first illness. Well, major illness.
Yeah, first major one. The first one that was bad enough that we needed to get her into the doctor and going to the hospital was a possibility.
Oh, yeah. Scary.
I don't remember that. What was that?
No, this was the first for that much.
Oh, this one. Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not remember.
There have been a few really minor ones, but this one was the first major.
The one that she made us sick for a week. Ugh. She was fine the whole time.
She's like, what's the problem, parent?
Don't be so perky. Why are you perky? Blech.
Yeah.
Okay, enough about that.
All right.
So we have a Instagram. Let's do a proper announcement.
We have an Instagram.
Yeah.
I've noticed there have been some comments from some of the posts already.
Nice.
I have not been keeping up on it. I've had a sick baby.
Yes.
I have had a busy week, but Lauren's going to go on there. We're going to look at it.
Check it right now.
There was a comment about it was nice putting Kylie's face to her voice.
Oh, nice.
That's true. Oh, that's so sweet.
But yeah, you can find it at instagram.com/atheistnomads. There will be a link in this week's show notes, and there is now a Instagram link on the website with all the social media buttons, Instagrams on there now. Yeah. So
we'll be better next week. Maybe we'll go live next time.
Oh, well, it was Jimmy Nine Toes. His was the comment. And who is live right now? Hooray.
Yay.
Kylie, stop that.
Yeah, and we are trying again the whole letting patrons listen in on Discord while we record.
And our fun
discussions about our life.
Yeah.
If you are masochistic and you want the full raw experience before I edit it, yes. And you want to give us money,
Right.
Those two things are required.
Man.
Then yes, you can pay money to hear what it sounds like before I fix it.
What else do you get when you pay money?
That will be announced next week.
Yay.
Because it's going... Actually, no, we can announce the changes since those are coming up here on the...
I was talking about the Facebook group that I made.
Oh, yes, the Facebook group. Tell us a little bit about that.
It is called Atheist Nomads VIP, very important patron. It is a little group for patrons and guests to either help us collaborate on the podcast, answer poll questions, ask us questions, and just have a little community. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
Pay us money and get in on this.
There is a somber note. Deborah McTaggart, who is better known as Heretic Woman of the Beyond the Trailer Park podcast and a whole bunch of other podcasts. Like, she's been involved in almost everything. Mm-hmm. She's been one of the most active people in the atheist podcast community. She unfortunately died in her sleep unexpectedly at the age of 46 on January 20.
Oh, no.
So she'll be missed. If you want to check out some memorials, I know both Beyond the Trailer Park and Holy Crap, the Vlogcast are memorializing her. So check those out. And let's go ahead and move on to dusting off the degree.
All right.
We know Christianity has existed in some form at least by the mid-1st century CE, the Common Era. Mm-hmm. Not using in the year of our Lord AD, we're using CE Common Era. But the best information on what the early church was actually like isn't found in the Bible. It's in the writings of the early church fathers and the apologists. Basically, the bishops and and the theologians of the 2nd and 3rd century. And these bishops, mostly the bishops, wrote a lot about the need to fight heretics and trying to convince the imperial Roman governors that their followers were not the threat, it was the heretics that were. Mm. And when they could win over the authorities, they would then either get Roman troops assigned to them to go get the heretics, or tell them where to find the heretics and lead them right there to round them up and probably kill most of them.
Yeah.
And burn all of their texts.
Oh, gosh.
By the time Constantine made Christianity the official religion of the empire, it became very important to destroy the rest of the texts that didn't fit with this developing orthodoxy, because the Roman Empire, with Christianity as the official religion, wanted only the official form of Christianity to be practiced.
Right.
Anything that deviated from that was dangerous. And so a policy of finding anything that was heretical or contradicted or went against Christianity and destroying all of those writings was established and continued for the next 1,000 years.
So that's like their version of, that group really pissed me off, now let's burn their records and CDs.
Yeah. Yep.
Damn it, Dixie Chicks. Yeah.
Right. So this ended up going beyond just destroying the writing of actual Christian heretics, but the writings of Plato.
Oh, gosh.
And other classical Greek texts, all of the writings of Mithraism, and anything else that wasn't Christian orthodoxy.
Old-fashioned book burnings.
And it kind of made sense when it came to Plato in particular, because Neoplatonism was by that point, a definite religion, and it was the basis for the entire Gnostic heresy that was one of the ones they were the most concerned with. Granted, by the time they started burning texts, Gnostics were really on the way out. And people would go to some interesting lengths to try to preserve some of these texts.
Right.
Like the Nag Hammadi scriptures, which were mostly Gnostic texts that were written in Coptic and boxed up and buried in the desert in Egypt. They've been found.
Yeah.
They're now available. None of those texts, until that was found in the 20th century, none of those had been seen since the 4th century.
Wow.
They were gone for a long time.
It was important to somebody.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And it's not necessarily the case that there wasn't good documentation on the founding of Christianity.
Right.
But if there was, it's been destroyed.
Yeah.
And this means that we don't know with any reasonable certainty how Christianity actually started.
Right. So what you're saying is that basically Christianity didn't document when they started, but probably others documented it, but then basically Christians then burned it all.
Well, I
mean, is that a simplification of it?
I would tweak it a little bit to what was actually historical documentation was probably heresy by the time they were burning those texts.
Right.
So even if the Apostle Paul wrote down his original establishing of Christianity, that would have been heresy. It would have been burned.
Wow. People be crazy.
Yeah. Well, and generally speaking, when it comes to any kind of a group, once it's been, it's evolved for a few hundred years, especially several hundred years under a lot of pressure from persecution.
Right.
It's not going to look like what it started out as.
Yeah.
And the writings of the founders are going to be dangerous.
Right.
And suppressed.
Right. You don't live long anyway, so you don't want to die earlier than you have to.
By the time you get to the Middle Ages, the Catholic Church didn't want anybody reading the Bible.
Right. Really?
They just wanted everybody to listen to what the priest said.
Yeah. Granted,
the priest was only going to be preaching in Latin, which the people didn't speak.
Every time you tell me about these things, I mean us, right? But this is the first time I'm hearing it too. I just think this is so fucking backwards. So crazy. Why don't people know more about this? If they knew more about this, would they question more?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have people who are going to bury their head. You're always going to have people like that. But,
Is there more poop?
There was a little bit of poop.
Yay!
Yes. All up her back.
Oh.
Yeah.
She looks very pleased with herself, especially.
She should be.
Especially since her hand's right down your blouse
of the shirt. She likes to just stick her hand in my boobs now.
It's warm.
It's warm, and even when she's nursing, she likes to play with the other boob. It's just the way it is. It's called twiddling, and it's a thing that babies do.
She's like, "What, Mom?
Yeah,
you got a problem with that?"
She looks like she's about to fall asleep, which is nice.
I would say that the most amazing thing about being a parent is how exciting wet and poopy diapers can be.
Right. Well, I will tell you, I have never, until I was a dog owner, I was never so concerned about another thing pooping.
Yeah.
And what that poop looked like and how frequent is the poop.
What's the consistency? Is it the same as yesterday?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I get it.
I mean, I get it. It's a little more important.
The first time that Rocco kind of coughed up on me and Dustin's like, are you going to go change? I'm like, meh, after the movie. He's like, you're going to be fine with a baby. I'm like, yeah.
No.
There's the whole, are dogs good practice for a baby? Generally speaking, no.
Yeah.
But they really are, because
they're awesome.
You get used to being greatly inconvenienced by a living thing that you love.
Right.
And it gets you over the being squeaked out too much by anything poop.
Right. I mean, I've had poop
sitting
under my fingernails.
in a bathtub and trying to coax your baby to poop in the tub that you are currently sitting in.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Mark that off my list.
I've definitely had a lot of Cooper poop under my nails. That was gross.
Yep.
And it made me vomit, but I still did it.
Dustin's gagged. You have actually thrown up?
No.
Nope.
Just
gagged, which almost made me sick.
Oh yeah, the chain reactions.
Oh, that's bad.
No, you don't do it.
Don't do it.
All right, so moving from literal shit back to this theoretical shit.
Shit. That was a great one. That was a great transition. I loved it.
Shit.
We do know that the Christian church, there was some kind of Christian church as early as 55 CE.
Okay.
What we have of that are a few lines from a song that found their way into one of Paul's epistles that he wrote roughly 10 years later. Yeah, the Apostle Paul. Probably the founder of Christianity.
So is it an apostle's epistle?
Uh-huh. The epistles are the writings of the apostles.
She just likes the alliteration.
I love alliteration.
Yeah.
Dustin does not look amused, everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're from Greek. They're even funnier in Greek, but...
I don't know Greek, so...
Yeah.
But we do have letters from Paul from around, the 60s CE, but the rest of the New Testament was written after 70 CE, and a lot of it as 80, 90, 100, possibly even 120 CE. And those letters that Paul wrote weren't establishing any doctrine. They weren't about establishing the church. These were letters he was sending to his friends that he had converted and got to join his church. Churches that he had founded.
Yeah.
And he was just correcting some of their errors.
Oh.
So they are incredibly limited.
Yeah.
That's what we have of the founding of the church. It'd be like if all we had about Mormonism was letters that Joseph Smith wrote to a different community.
Right. Oh, actually, that's a correction on this part. So you don't know very much except for that they were wrong.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point.
Probably post-fact.
Yeah. Sorry, when you said song, I was like, was it about a popcorn tree? And then you said something about Mormonism, that's a Mormon song.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, woo.
I did not know about the popcorn tree.
Wavelength right now.
Well, and Mormonism is an interesting comparison just because of how recent it is.
For sure.
And how well documented it is.
Well, and a lot of religions around that same time. Unitarianism started. I mean, that was a whole boom of all these religions.
People making shit up.
Now, most of that was minor tweaks on something that already existed.
But
Mormonism was
right.
Created whole cloth.
That's because he is crazy, or was. I mean, he's dead. Obviously.
No, he was a con
genius.
Man.
Yes,
he was a genius
crazy
con
genius.
Man.
Yeah, I mean, he convinced people. Oh gosh, I think South Park. I think South Park was perfect with their Mormon description. Dum 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 dum. Smart. When that chick was like, wait a minute.
Well, it's not like Scientology is that much better. And that's recent, and you'd think people would know better.
That's even more recent, for sure.
It's a sci-fi writer.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Not even a very good one.
So anyway, the details of the founding of the Christian church, if they were ever actually written down, were either lost to history or more likely intentionally destroyed.
Yeah.
So what's left is the official party line written much later, and they were more concerned with preserving an orthodox narrative than they were about the historical record.
Right.
Whether it actually makes sense.
Yeah.
They need a continuity person. Bad.
We have updates to start off with. A surprising number.
We do not keep up on the news. No, wait.
We do.
It just keeps changing.
New stuff has a tendency to win out over updates. And this time I was kind of surprised when I realized, oh, wait a minute, we've talked about most of these already.
Yeah.
So first up, we have Justin Murray's application to become a Humanist Chaplain, which we covered in episode 270. We have a update. He emailed in with, quote, I got a response from the Australian Department of Defense. They maintain that their actions are not discriminatory because I am not religious, therefore cannot do the job. It is qualifications, not atheism, that is the problem. There are quite a few things that they claim that you must be religious to do, like pray and perform marriages/funerals. Guess what? As the Humanist Chaplain at a hospital, I have prayed with people. Means nothing to me, but gives hope/meaning to them. I did a memorial ceremony last year and have my first wedding in April. So
heck, Dustin does weddings. Oops. By the way, Dustin does weddings. If you're getting married and you...
Maybe we'll make that a Patreon level.
No, there's a separate fee for that.
Dang it.
$50 a month.
Yeah.
But I would definitely consider a discount for patrons.
Oh, there we go.
Lauren is departing to try and get Kylie down for a nap. That is way overdue at this point. Trump has agreed to end the shutdown without border wall funding for 3 weeks.
Right. So he's still holding everything hostage.
Yep. Fortunately, flight attendants, air traffic controllers, and the like are helping tighten the screws, so to say.
Yeah.
By calling in. This is enough that has caused significant flight delays, flight cancellations, shutting down airports.
Oh, I'm just concerned about my taxes and my refund.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad to get my state tax refund as soon as possible, but I need that money.
Well, considering we now have one income and a child, that's a substantial amount of money.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Like very non-trivial.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a non-trivial amount. I did my taxes. I know how much I'm getting back, and I'm like, this can help me a lot.
Yeah.
So, I'd like them to come back. I was reading the stories about people who were basically told to come back to their jobs without being paid, and if they refused to, then they would be fired.
Yep.
When everything cleared. So
because the only people allowed to come into work were people who were critical, and critical jobs, it is illegal to not do your job when it's a critical job.
Right. It's a rock and a hard place because they're not getting anything. Although there was some senator who was like, I don't understand why these government workers are going to food pantries. They have a job. They're going to get paid. We promised that. So they should just get a loan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who are you, sir? No, that's not what you need to be doing.
A few banks have been doing things to help furloughed government workers.
Yeah.
With very generous loans. That has been more the exception than the rule.
Right.
Because most banks, if you do a private unsecured line of credit, they are going to charge you so far up the ass that you'll taste it.
Yeah.
In interest.
Exactly. Out of touch is what that dude is.
Fortunately, Nancy Pelosi is going to be bringing a bill that somebody has written to a vote that will make government shutdowns impossible by basically making the continuation of funding automatic. So budgets remain in effect until a new one is passed. Oh.
Yeah, we need to stop doing that. Like the government shutdowns shit needs to stop.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Now, in an alternative, I would be okay with, in the event of a government department shutting down due to a lapse in funding, everyone in Congress and the president get fired and have to stand for re-election.
Right.
Immediately.
Right. I think I saw that too. Something about someone had proposed that, if the government shuts down, then we should, definitely the president needs to go away. In fact, there's some clip of him saying in the last government shutdown, maybe he said it that, if the government's going to shut down, then you need a new president. You need new leadership. Excuse me, sir.
Now, I would say both the president and Congress, because of the point that you have that large of an impasse that they can't agree. The people need to decide who's right.
Right.
For our next update, in 2016 and 2017, we talked quite a bit about the protest, arrest, and conviction of the then governor of Jakarta, the capital of Indonesia, who was a Christian. when he was convicted of blasphemy related to a joke that he made on the campaign trail.
Oh, no.
He has now been released from prison. He is wanting everyone to basically just keep quiet and forget it, and has offered apologies to anybody he offended.
All right. I mean, he's not still... Is he still... What was he?
He was governor of Jakarta.
Governor. He's not still governor, though.
No, he wasn't actually taken to court until after he lost election.
Oh, okay.
But he lost re-election largely because of the hundreds of thousands of people protesting in the streets, demanding his execution.
Holy cow. Now I like how he's like, okay, guys, I did my time. Please, let's just not talk about it anymore. It's fine. Sorry.
Now, it looks like there might be a little bit of speculation that he got off easy because he's good buds with the president of Indonesia.
It's all who you know.
Big whoop.
Right.
Blasphemy charges are bullshit.
Yeah.
And realistically, he's going to be dead by the end of the week.
You think vigilante justice is about to be served?
Now, I'm going to hope that Indonesia is better than Pakistan, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's dead by the end of the week.
Yeah, that's scary.
And I really hope he's getting protection.
Oh, yeah. We're just out. We're just leaving. Time to go.
And we talked quite a bit, many times, about Bremerton High School, now former football coach, Joe Kennedy, who was doing prayers at the end of games at the center line, got suspended, and then his contract wasn't renewed.
Yeah.
He sued. He has lost every single lawsuit.
Yeah.
He was denied appeal by the full Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. And he has now been denied appeal by the Supreme Court.
Good. Stop trying to push your agenda. Just do what your job is, which is coaching a team.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still remember one time my friend got really mad at me because we went to see Varsity Blue. I don't know. You know, that one movie in the theater, and they're supposed to be a Texas team or something like that. Right. And there was a prayer scene, and I rolled my eyes so hard, and she got so mad at me. Like, what? This is stupid. Just play fucking football.
Yeah.
Why do we have to listen to, like, I walk through the shadow? I don't know. Whatever that Dangerous Minds song. I don't even know.
I walk through the shadow of the valley of death. I fear no evil.
Yeah, or something like that. Some stupid thing in this scene. And I just think to myself, like, yeah, thank God they don't do that here, because I'd be so uncomfortable.
It's part of one of the Psalms. I think it's part of 119.
Yeah, maybe it wasn't that one. Maybe it was, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Jimmy helped continue that one. For thou art with me.
Oh, there we go. I don't know. It was dumb. All I did was roll my eyes, and I got a real big, basically she was pissed at me.
I could have continued that one. I didn't want to because it's terrible.
Yeah, it's I don't know. It's praying before games is dumb.
Mm-hmm.
Just do it in your head if you really want to do it. But guess what? Nobody in the sky is actually going to affect the outcome of whether or not you win or lose.
Yeah. And last year, I think it was, we talked about Miracle Hill Ministries getting South Carolina's blessing for their request to be free to only allow Protestants to serve as foster parents or volunteers for their foster care program. Well, that exemption has now been approved by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
That is so crazy. That is so crazy to me. I cannot believe it.
Protestants only. So atheist, Jewish, Catholic, Mormon, Muslim can't apply. If you're Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, Presbyterian, Adventist, you're good to go.
Huh.
I'm sure they'd figure out a way to not let Adventists do it, but yeah. I
mean, Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, they only get $600,000 in government funding every year.
Okay. Only. Yeah.
That they are free to discriminate with.
Oh, my. Well, no one's a good foster parent like whatever they are.
Yeah.
It's because they got good moral values or something.
All right, so now we have new news.
New news.
The state of Washington has declared a state of emergency over a measles outbreak that, as of the date of recording, has resulted in 30 confirmed cases of the measles.
Yeah.
This currently is centered in Clark County, home of Vancouver, Washington, which is just across the river from Portland.
Yeah. And they also just put anybody in school has to have vaccination. So they've been discounting because it's a requirement. There's a deadline right now on it. What I can't get over is the fact that this was never a problem until recently.
Yeah.
It's just a vaccination. And then I was watching somebody who had posted something about this gal who got a tetanus shot and she had like a very adverse reaction to it. And so now she can't get shots at all. But her whole thing was, listen, I'm like a true outlier. This does not happen. Mm-hmm. And please vaccinate because I can't vaccinate myself anymore. And I don't want to die from stupid things.
Yeah. And with the tetanus vaccine, the standard version of it includes something that it's like 0.1% of the population is allergic to. Right. But it is so much cheaper to produce than the ones that don't have that. Yeah. Which, like, when I was at a past job, mm-hmm. we had tetanus vaccines that were given out. Yeah. That were the good stuff. Without that, we had somebody who administered those that really wish she could have given herself one because nobody else in the valley carries it. Oh. And she's allergic to the standard one.
Oh, no. Yeah, it was just her. It was just somebody had posted this whole mm-hmm. thing. And then, of course, some friend of hers was like, well, you don't know the standards and people can't sue over vaccine. Basically, this was an anti-vaxxer who was an idiot. Yeah. And trying to justify. And so the gal who posted it was like, did you even read the article? And she's like, yeah, but I had somebody who I knew who died from a vaccine. So why would I ever give it to anybody? And it's like, again, the statistics on it. This was probably a very, very uncommon case. And she started trying to do some statistics thing without actually citing mm-hmm. anything. And I'm like, what? Oh, God.
A claim as bold as I know somebody who died from a vaccine. Right. I would want to see the coroner report.
Exactly. And then to have some kind of lame ass, I think her statistic was, she tried to say there's no research of fatalities with or without vaccinations. For something, I was like, what are you talking about? Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? We have measles a state mm-hmm. away. Yeah. A state away and on the border of another state.
So Vancouver is literally across the river from Portland.
Yes.
There has already been at least one case of somebody who was in his 50s who picked it up in Vancouver and then went home to Seattle.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
From the Discord channel, I don't wear a seatbelt because the person I knew lived from a car crash because they weren't wearing a seatbelt.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Or something like, I don't wear it anymore because someone got decapitated. Yeah. Something stupid.
So Clark County has the highest rate of vaccine exemptions in the state of Washington. 23% of students in Clark County schools have current exemptions. Almost a quarter. That is not herd immunity.
What has to happen for people to finally realize? I don't know. I mean,
a lot of dead babies.
Right.
That's the only thing that will do it.
Which is happening.
Now,
I mean,
Europe,
it's not happening.
In Europe, it is happening.
Yeah.
And in the developing world, it's definitely happening.
Right.
But like, out of these 30 cases, they've so far at least all been in people over the age of 1.
Okay.
Somebody under the age of 1 gets it. That is very, very life-threatening.
Mm-hmm.
Over the age of 1, chance of death is low.
Right.
It's still possible, but it's low.
Right.
If a pregnant woman gets it, it is very, very dangerous.
Yes, and that's what I heard. Yeah. I mean, I have nursing friends too. I mean, my roommate's a nurse, and we met through another friend who's a nurse, and I constantly is like screenshotting things and being like, look at this idiot. I don't understand.
Yeah. So this outbreak is some of the places where they know it has spread. Mm-hmm. Surprisingly, as far as has been confirmed so far, just to people who live in Clark County.
Right.
Were places in Portland, like the Portland airport.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, the Portland airport. Once it hits an airport, that's how it crosses cities or countries.
I mean, the airport's very close to Vancouver. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, what else has to happen? Do we need to bring back polio? Is polio being brought back now? I mean, the Rotary Club is already having some anti-polio thing here.
They had polio had been eradicated from all but I think it was 2 countries, and now it's endemic in 5 again.
Great, cool.
That one is being, the Islamic State and Taliban are largely responsible for that because they've been spreading lies about polio vaccines being a Western plot to sterilize your women.
Right, which I think, also affluent white women think the same thing probably.
Oh, no, if that idea was around here, if there was a couple drops they could put under your tongue, because in places where polio is still around, that's how they do it. Yeah. Is the drops. Yeah, if you could have a couple drops and be made infertile, no need for surgery, no need for anything more complicated. Who wouldn't? That would be the most popular medical anything ever.
I know. If it could, I'd be like, hey, you know what? That'd be cool. Can I have a little bit of that? Yeah. That seems better than having like a whole section of myself ripped out.
So this is the second measles outbreak in the U.S. this year. There was actually this is the third outbreak because there were 2 separate outbreaks in New Jersey earlier this year. And this one is just really close to home.
Yeah, for sure.
The number of flights between Portland and Boise and Seattle and Boise and other places where this is expected to go, it's been declared a statewide emergency because they know it's going to spread across Washington.
Yeah, for sure.
And if it spreads across Washington, it's also going to spread across Oregon.
California!
I was going to go with Idaho.
I mean, in Idaho! But I would bet you, too, it's going to go into California as well.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe they'll take notice once that happens.
Oh, man.
Some big rich Hollywood person will be like, "Oh no, Gwyneth Paltrow, you were wrong."
Well, the
Look,
last
you have measles now.
The last big measles outbreak in the U.S. started in California. It was at Disneyland.
Right. Oh, that's right.
It was a bunch of affluent white people.
Yeah.
Who got it from an affluent Mexican kid.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll be darned.
Which turns out, disease that gets brought across borders is not by illegal or, more accurately, undocumented immigrants. Right. It's tourists.
Right. Will the wall make it so that no one gets measles?
No, because the tourists will still bring it across the border. And missionaries from here going to places where that's around, because there have been a number of big measles outbreaks from Amish people going on their Rumspringa and doing mission work.
Well, not on the Rumspringa.
No, different groups, but
right?
yeah.
That is just one more reason not to ever go to Disneyland.
Yeah. Oh, man. But on a related note, the World Health Organization, looking at the rebound in measles in recent years, is ranking the anti-vax movement as a greater risk to global health than dengue fever and HIV. Really?
I mean, good. But unless, it's raw cookie dough, then we're not going to listen to the CDC. Or, excuse me.
WHO.
Oh, WHO. Again, maybe we should say something like, you know what? It's the romaine lettuce. Vaccinate yourself. Like, if it had something to do with food, maybe people would be like, okay.
Well, actually, so what's interesting is you are more likely to get salmonella poisoning from organic lettuce than non-organic lettuce.
Let's get that GMO.
And it has to do with the fertilizer.
Yeah.
Because the best organic fertilizer is cow shit.
Right. Yeah. Gross. Yeah.
E. coli and salmonella. Well, more E. coli than salmonella, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's just all stay at home and eat pizza. I don't know. Fuck.
No.
Maybe that's just because I want to take a nap and eat pizza. And stay
higher on the WHO's list is climate change.
Yeah.
And a global influenza pandemic. H1N1 is spreading. We have had a school in the Treasure Valley closed.
Yeah. I mean, it's a school district.
Well, it was all the schools in notice. Were closed Thursday.
Which I have a teacher friend on Facebook, whatever, I have friends sometimes. But she works for Eagle, and she was saying that, Emmett, excuse me. And she was saying that they should have closed down too, because at one point, like half if not more of her class was out.
Oh, wow.
With the flu. I have a flu vaccine. I got vaccinated after I got swine flu. After I got the swine flu at Oregon State, I always have it. So I do not want to go through that again.
Yeah.
That sucked ass.
I didn't get them when they weren't recommended for the general population.
Yeah.
When I would watch closely, and if I was in a population group where it was recommended, I would get it.
Right.
Now it's recommended for everyone.
Yeah.
Granted, I'm in the position working for a hospital that I can't go to work past November 1st without getting the flu shot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would get it anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with a baby in the house who got 2 shots because she's a baby.
Right.
And but the H1N1 global pandemic that is likely starting could easily be not a pandemic if more people got flu shots, because every flu shot since the big H1N1 outbreak in 2010 has included H1N1.
Oh, gosh.
Because that pandemic isn't done. It's still circulating.
Just take your heads out of your asses, peoples. They're not listening. They're not listening to this program. No. They can't hear me.
I would suspect that our listeners have a much, much higher flu shot vaccination rate than the general population by at least an order of magnitude.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And if you haven't gotten it yet, it's not too late.
Do it.
It's still worth it because, the pandemic is a very real risk and easily preventable. The more people who don't get it, the fewer people at risk will.
Right, because there are people who are vulnerable and can't get vaccines. So we need to help them by us staying healthy.
Yeah.
Oh, we got a thumbs up on that?
Yeah.
Sweet.
The U.S. Supreme Court voted 5-4 to lift a lower court's preliminary injunction against Trump's trans military ban.
Oh my gosh.
Now, this isn't the total ban on trans people from serving the military that Trump had announced by tweet, This is the actual policy which would allow service members who have already started transitioning to continue that process, and will continue to allow them to update the gender marker on their records.
So they can stay in.
They can stay in.
They've been grandfathered in.
Right. So Alice will be able to continue serving out her career and not get thrown out literally a couple years before being eligible for retirement.
Okay.
So that's good.
But nobody new can come in.
But no one new will be allowed in
Right.
who is trans, and anybody who hasn't already gotten the gender dysphoria diagnosis who is currently serving will be allowed to get that diagnosis and start. If they do go ahead and try and get the diagnosis, then they'll either have to promise to not to continue to live and serve under their gender assigned at birth.
Right.
And if they or get discharged.
Right. I like how you said something about the president's tweet, and all I could think of was like, because that's how he officially announces everything.
Right. Yeah.
Over a social media platform. That is our president. I mean, I'm sure we've talked about this several times and how absurd it is, but it's like, gosh darn it. Trump and his official tweets.
In a totally somewhat related note, I'm back. And she did not go to sleep, but she did find a bottle full of water, so she's sucking on that. But we were watching a show on Netflix that made a joke about covfefe, and it made me laugh.
Well, and now we've got that new one, the hamburgers.
Hamburgers.
Birders.
Hamburgers.
And covfefe.
Oh, so good.
So good.
All right. So the Tulsi Gabbard is one of quite a few current members of Congress or senators who have announced their candidacy for president for 2020. And she is a representative from Hawaii. And she felt the need to actually go on the record apologizing for her past work for her father's organization in Hawaii that successfully kept Hawaii from passing gay marriage.
Oh. Is she a Democrat or she's
a Democrat.
Oh, okay.
She has changed her views, and since getting elected to Congress, she has been consistently and completely in favor of gay rights every time it's come up.
I mean, at least she's getting ahead, right? She's getting ahead of it and, and apologizing before everything.
Some Democrats are kind of going under with the, if you've ever been against gay rights, you're out.
Yeah.
I think that is a very ridiculous standard because most Democrats were opposed to gay rights in, say, about 2004.
Right.
And there are a lot of people who change their minds on things.
As much as we say people can't change, you can change. You can change your viewpoint. And whether or not, I don't know. We're never going to know if it's like really internalized thought change, right? From that viewpoint. But definitely if you're politics and you're in politics and it's changed, then let's just go for it. You shouldn't be penalized.
Like if you were to judge me based on my views in that same time period,
right?
You would be judging me for who I used to be and not who I am now.
Right.
Back when I was a theology major in college, preaching the gospel, and I don't stand for any of those views now.
Right. You didn't know. Your mind wasn't expanded quite yet.
And so Gabbard is part of her justification for her change in views is that it was based on her Christian beliefs that everyone is equal in the eyes of God.
Right.
Which she sees as being at odds with biblical anti-gay stuff. There's actually very little in the Bible that is anti-gay.
Right.
So that's especially if you ignore the Old Testament, that's actually a really easy position to take.
Yeah.
It's just not a very common position to take. So good for her for being better than her religion.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think it's good that she's getting ahead of it instead of just kind of, let's say she really goes for it. We never know, but she really goes on the ticket, right? And then doesn't say anything about it, basically running the risk of somebody else outing her.
Oh, yeah.
And using it against her,
Yeah.
So, good job, lady.
Now, of course, the National Organization for Marriage, a anti-gay hate group, is demanding that she apologize for her apology.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because that makes sense. Fuck them.
Well, she's apologizing for having once worked for a group allied with them. They find that offensive and think that what she has said should be offensive to all Christians because she's saying that some Christians are Christianing wrong by being anti-gay.
Well, and as we know, there are, on the Republican side, there's a lot of funding from religious organizations.
Yeah.
So please apologize for your apology. Please. They probably didn't say please. They were probably like, listen, lady. But what? Did she get any funding from them? No? I would be like, okay, cool.
She's not going to.
Right, exactly. It's like,
yeah.
Why would I need to apologize?
And even if she did, she wouldn't get any funding from them anyway because she's a Democrat.
Right, exactly.
A liberal Democrat.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Bishop of the Covington Diocese in Kentucky has now apologized for the statements he made condemning the actions of Nicholas Sandmann for his face-off with a Native American elder in Washington, D.C. while wearing a MAGA hat when conflicting protests like the National Women's March and a anti-abortion protest cross paths.
Right. And so, no, it wasn't the Women's March.
Oh, it was a different one?
It was a different one. Yeah. So those kids were pro-lifing from their Catholic school, right?
Yeah.
And then there was another conservative group.
Oh, okay.
It was a men's group. And I just watched it and I couldn't tell you what it was. But yes, and then the Native Americans group was also doing some kind of a march, and their whole take on it was that they knew that these other two groups were coming together. It wasn't going to be good, so they thought they'd get in the middle and try and peacefully, and then it didn't happen. It didn't happen, and now that kid went on TV to say that he would love to have a sit down and talk to say what?
Yeah.
I mean, I saw some other, I get a lot of stuff from Facebook. Who doesn't, right? But
I don't.
Okay, well, you're better than all of us. Or me. In that way.
Facebook makes me feel not good emotions, so I don't spend much time on Facebook.
And that's good because because I spend too much time and I don't have good emotions either. I've started to really unfollow people, which has made me feel better.
Nice.
But he got the White House invite. That kid.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, and then there was some other kid who was black, who was African American, and he actually saved someone's life or something like that. He did something good. No, he didn't get.
Oh man!
I think he made it save somebody's life or something like that. They're both the same age, and he didn't get recognition. Make fun of a Native American person or whatever your stupid punchable face did. Mm-hmm. Snot-nosed teen actions, and you get to go to the White House.
Wow. Okay, so for looking at the DOC's involvement with this, they provided the bus for an official delegation from the school to travel to Washington, D.C. to join into this march. The faculty and other chaperones that were there didn't have any issue with these kids wearing MAGA hats for the march.
Right.
And didn't do anything when some of these students started berating a Native American Vietnam War veteran.
Right. And then they like had some crazy like, let's take off our shirts and jump around. Let's just be very aggressive about things. Also, what I find particularly interesting is that this was I think a Catholic boys' school.
Yeah.
At a pro-life rally. Like, there were no ladies there.
Nope.
It was all just dudes having some opinion. Where I think the funniest thing I saw was some comment about like, they're all pro-life until all of a sudden they get their girlfriend pregnant, and then they're like, wait, I'm on the varsity team, so like, let's fix that.
Yep. So,
and they shut down the school. Did you know that?
Oh wow.
They because they were afraid of threats, people walking on the campus and getting mad. So
all right, so the DOC had issued a statement condemning his actions.
Yeah.
Which that was a smart thing for them to do.
Right.
Especially since the DOC runs the school, provided the bus, got these kids there, and then these kids made them look bad. And the fact that the bishop is now going back on that to apologize to the parents for being too quick to condemn. Specifically what he wrote was, we should not have allowed ourselves to be bullied and pressured into making a statement prematurely, and we take full responsibility for it. I especially apologize to Nicholas Sandman and his family, as well as to all Cov-Cath families who have felt abandoned during this ordeal.
Do you know what that sounds like to me? Please don't pull your money out.
Yep.
Please don't pull all your funding of our school.
What this sounds like to me is he made the reasonable assumption that not everyone in his DOC is are racist pieces of shit.
Right.
And then he acted on that assumption and then discovered that, no, actually everybody in his DOC is a racist piece of shit.
Right, exactly.
At least everyone with money in the DOC.
Exactly. Well, that's because they all sent their kids.
Because the other half of the DOC, or 2/3 or whatever it is of the DOC, probably speaks Spanish.
Right.
Yeah. This has got to be awkward.
For sure. He's like, oh, I'm doing the right thing. Oh, shit. No, I'm about to lose some money. Whoopsies. Whoopsie daisies.
And we have no new feedback.
What?
I know.
That's okay. We can't always have feedback.
Okay, technically we had one from Rebecca, who called us out on our speciesism.
Speciesism.
Speciesism. Because I believe we said some anti-Chihuahua comment.
No, it was anti-cat.
Was it anti-cat?
Yeah. It was anti-cat. That would make sense of speciesism versus breedism.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry.
I'm sorry, but kittens turn to cats and cats are assholes.
I know, but they are like fun sometimes when they're nice and you can just pet them like an evil genius. And you're like,
but you can do that with a Cocker Spaniel.
I can't do that with my dog.
So cats, as CGP Grey puts it, because I think he summed it up the best. Mm-hmm. They are tiny tigers that we invite into our homes.
Yeah.
Cats on the ranking of like the list of domesticated animals. Mm-hmm. The house cat is not on that list. They are tame.
Yeah.
They are semi-domesticated, tamed animals.
Right.
Every single kitten is a wild predator. And you tame most of them.
Right.
Cats going feral is super easy because they're just wild predators.
Right.
They're also the most destructive invasive species.
On islands?
In America, in the West.
Oh.
The Intermountain West is, I don't remember which group it was, but they've officially declared cats an invasive species in the West because of all the damage they do to birds and
lizards. Maybe.
Yeah,
especially
lizards,
birds.
Yeah. I mean, we don't care about rodents.
Migratory birds have a lot of protections, and
for sure.
feral cat and just cats, outdoor cats are just massacring them.
From Discord, we got, isn't it that cats are one generation from feral?
Yeah.
Yeah, if a cat is born in the wild, it is wild.
Mm-hmm.
That means that if they aren't tamed, they are feral.
Like the deadliest cat is so cute and small. And the reason why they call it the deadliest cat is because it can get its prey pretty quickly in a small amount of time, but its prey is also very small. So I mean, that's how,
There's just so many levels of cuteness going on there that we can't stand.
It's adorable.
Now, to be fair, a well-tamed cat that actually likes all the members of its family can be quite the delight.
But you just don't know. That's the unfortunate part. Like, you just get a kitten and you're like, okay, please don't be
be psycho.
Yeah, please don't attack me in the middle of the night and be nice.
Yeah. And we don't have any new patrons, but if you want to support us, you can go to atheistnomads.com/donate and find all the ways, or just head over to patreon.com/atheistnomads and take advantage of the new perks that are going live as of February 1st. So with the new reward tiers, there's still the same tiers: $1 per episode, $2 per episode, $5, and $10 again per episode. At $1, you get access to the patron feed, which is always ad-free and sometimes has extended episodes. The last 2 weeks, there have been extended episodes.
Yeah.
You cannot shut us up.
Yeah.
Whoop, whoop.
Both of the last 2 episodes, there was at least, I think one was 15 minutes of extra content, and this last one was 20 or 25.
Was it?
It was crazy.
I thought it was awesome.
No, I thought 20 and 25 the week before with Mikey, and then 15 last week. I don't know.
It doesn't matter.
They were all
it doesn't
quite
matter.
a bit of extra.
Listen, we've got extra stuff for you.
Right. And generally speaking, the normal feed does not have ads, but if somebody wants to give us money, we will do ads.
Yeah.
By the way, we will do ads.
Yeah.
We'll do ads.
But if you're a patron, you don't get that. You can just use the Patreon feed, and there will be no ads. Again, at $1, you get access to the Atheist Nomads VIP Facebook group.
Whoop, whoop.
You get a shout out in the next episode, assuming we haven't already recorded, because that has happened where, like, right after we record, we get a new patron.
Well, then we'll just for the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll get listed on the website's donate page and get access to live recording on the Discord channel. Excuse me, the live recording Discord channel, and you have the ability to comment while we're recording, and we can see that. And that's something that Jimmy is already doing.
Go, Jimmy!
He's already had a yay.
Yay!
This is good times.
At $2, you get all of that, plus the patron feed will include recordings of the post show and any other bonus content that we produce.
Mm-hmm. And that's fun.
Post show is random whatever we say after we stop recording the main show.
Last week we were like, let's just keep talking about stuff.
There were burritos,
sex stuff.
sex robots, chlamydia and gonorrhea.
Yeah.
And then it ended with pizza.
Aaron's
single.
love life. Yeah.
My love life. I mean, a little bit about it, but yeah, about me.
About that.
Yeah. And you also get listed in the show notes.
Yeah.
So $1, you won't be listed in the show notes because we don't want too long of a list in there, but $2 you do get listed in the show notes. And you will get discounts on any future merchandise.
This is super inexpensive. I mean, come on. That's a lot.
Is.
That's a lot for $2.
That is. That's a lot of awesomeness.
Plus, you can have input again into what we talk about.
That's what we're really hoping for is more questions.
Yes.
If you have topics that you would like covered, if you just want to introduce yourself and say hey and let us know about you, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
If you have pictures of dogs, that is required.
Yeah.
Also on our Instagram page, please share doggy pictures.
Starting at $5 an episode, you get everything we've already mentioned, plus access to the post-show Discord channel, where you can actually join in on the discussion.
That is going to be that's going to be ridiculous, but awesome.
I mean, ridiculous in the most fun way.
Yes, absolutely.
Currently, there are only 4 people eligible for that.
4? That's actually pretty impressive for us.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our people have really been chipping in. You guys are awesome. Mm-hmm. Really.
I'll get that new mic yet.
Yep. Someday. Look awesome like me.
And at $5, you will also be listed in the show notes with an optional link to your podcast, non-commercial project, or organization.
Oh, whoa. It's pretty neat.
Your podcast, non-commercial project, or organization is optional, and if you want that listed, be sure to tell us. I will probably forget to ask. And
this is going to be the one time he ever mentions this, and it will be forgotten in the annals of time.
it'll be available on the Patreon page.
Was that the correct use of the word annals?
Sure, because it is being recorded.
Annals of time? It's not annals.
No, it's annals. Yeah.
Sweet.
And at $10 an episode, you get all of that, plus an optional link to your business or other commercial venture in the show notes. And you can have an optional mention as an episode sponsor, including a mention that your commercial venture or business is the an episode sponsor. But for those, you do need to make sure that if you set a monthly max, that it actually is $40 per month. Or excuse me, $40 per month or more. So that way we don't have somebody saying $10 for a max of $10 and try and get the benefits of that would come at $40 a month.
Just be cool. Just be cool about it.
Heck, at that price, we would probably do just about anything. If you need to break up with somebody, I'll have Aaron call and break up for you.
If
you live in the area and you need a dog, you need a dog walked, I'll walk your dog. Yeah.
So not anything though. Let's. There's got to be caveats on that.
I mean,
we won't do
anything.
Right?
Depends. I'll volunteer Aaron for whatever.
Oh my.
Aaron, did you realize this was part of the other duties as agreed to?
Duties.
No. Well, have you guys watched that Fire Festival documentary?
I have not. No. Okay, but you should watch it. But ridiculous.
There is this moment where this guy's like, I was about to give a blowjob for Evian water. That is not what I will do. Okay. There will be limits. I am not that dedicated. Sorry.
Oh, God.
We don't want to be... Right, we have to make sure that we don't violate the anti-sex trafficking law and get kicked off of Patreon.
I'm getting gassed.
Exactly.
Oh, it's bad. Oh, Kylie.
Oh, yeah, the diarrhea.
Oh, God. Also, if you know anybody who owns a screen printer, let us know. No, or have ideas for merchandise providers.
Yeah,
we've been dabbling. We've been looking.
Oh, dibble dabble.
Somebody that can take care of the ordering and the shipping, because we do not want a garage full of merchandise that we'll never sell.
No, the three of us between where we live, it's not gonna be good.
It's not gonna work.
Good. Well, if we had to store a bunch of shirts, they'd all be covered in sawdust pretty quick.
Right.
Because our main storage area is also my workshop.
Right. Yeah. If I store them, dust everywhere.
Dust everywhere.
Well, this is the desert.
No, I know.
There's a lot of dust here.
Not that kind of dust.
But it'd be like pet dust.
Oh.
Yeah, pet dust.
Dead skin.
Yeah,
dead skin dust.
I mean, we got an air purifier, but
baby butt dust.
I get it. There's dust everywhere. We do live in arid land. We are not a true desert.
Yeah.
So, just to let you know, we are 1 inch away from being a true desert.
Sweet.
Of rainfall. So, we get like...
For now.
We get like 13...
That's probably going to be...
Yeah. We get like 13 inches and a true desert is 11. So, 2.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There are parts of Idaho that are...
Naturalist.
Boom! Drop the mic.
Okay, so yeah, this is an arid area.
Yeah,
a very arid area.
It's dusty,
and we will hopefully have information soon on the retreat. We are looking at some possibilities.
We're looking at mostly the end of July or what?
Early August.
Early August for time. Pretty well settled at Island Park. We're just determining whether or not it's going to be a private cabin or a campground.
Yeah.
And
Island Park, for those of you that don't know, has the longest main street in the United States.
Oh, wow.
Nope, not anymore.
Oh, really?
Yep. I think Connecticut made one.
Oh. Okay.
Well, poo.
But
This side of the Mississippi.
It is ridiculous. There you go. Good one, Aaron.
We like to say this side of the Mississippi.
Yeah, we do.
It is less than an hour from Yellowstone, and it's there in eastern Idaho. It's pretty cool. Lots of really good attractions right there. It is a great place to go spend time and leave money behind.
Nice. I've never been there.
Well, you're cordially invited.
Right. We'll see. Maybe that will happen. I don't know. Maybe I'll be doing festivals. I don't know.
Oh,
we'll see what happens.
And one other thing, if
you pulled me off the ground, Mama.
If any of our 10% of listeners that are in the DC metro area or near the DC metro area and have connections for possible venues, I have an idea. Please reach out to me.
Yeah, not the poultry one, right? Whatever that poultry convention, they will not leave us alone.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah, the spam. Yeah. The poultry convention. There was another weird one.
There was another one. Some other farmer convention. But that is not... Sorry, Dustin. I totally derailed this conversation, but we keep getting a poultry convention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's
You've registered. No, I have not.
And so that wraps up for this week. Aaron, do you have anything to plug?
No, but hopefully soon. I say that so down because last week, just to let you know, update, I did have a showcase that I did. Unfortunately, I didn't plug it on the show because I didn't know, and then it happened before the show was released, right? I can't hear myself. It's totally cool. But success, it went really well.
That's awesome. Congratulations.
It went really, really well. So hopefully soon I will be having things that I can plug. There's some convos and talks about comedy stuff. So that'll be cool. That'll be cool.
You should host your own show.
Well, let's not talk about it on this.
Yeah, because there's money to be made.
Listen, if we want to talk about that, you'll have to. Maybe we'll talk about that. It'll be secret, but you'll have to pay to hear it.
But yeah, there you go.
On the Patreon.
And Aaron, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me again. But I mean, I'm going to be here all the time. This was my third. Oh, we didn't count. This is my third official.
I told you get two.
I know from you, but now I'm going to count.
Congrats again.
Thanks.
And Lauren, thank you for being awesome.
I managed to make it back here for the last part, and then I just totally gave up on Kylie. She's taking apart cables as we speak.
Yep. And listeners, remember, not all those who wander are lost.
Don't eat it.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Atheist Nomads. You can find show notes and contact information at atheistnomads.com. Follow us on Twitter at Atheist Nomads, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/Atheist Nomads. Please subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or your podcatcher of choice, and while you're there, feel free to leave us a review. Theme music is courtesy of Sturdy Fred. Until next time, this has been the Atheist Nomads.